housing, utilities, car insurance, transportation, groceries, and all of that, with peculiar reference to GTA, that's Greater Toronto Area in Canada. So hey guys, you're beautifully welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new, you're welcome. Please hit the subscribe button down below and make sure you turn the post notification bell on. And if you're not new, you're welcome yet again to my channel. I hope you've been enjoying my videos. Thank you very much for always watching. Please don't forget to always like, comment, and share. In today's video, I'll be talking about the cost of living in Canada with peculiar reference to Toronto, Ontario. If you plan coming to Canada in the next few months or few years or few weeks, or you're already in Canada, I'm sure you can attest to some of the things I'll be mentioning in this video. So I'll be talking about the cost of housing, utilities, car insurance, transportation, groceries, and all of that, with peculiar reference to GTA, that's Greater Toronto Area in Canada. If you don't know, there are some cities that are close to Toronto, that's City of Toronto. These cities are like 30 minutes to, let's say between 20 minutes to an hour drive to downtown Toronto. So if you are planning to get like a job in Toronto, you could stay in GTA, that's Greater Toronto Area, and commute down to work in Toronto every day. It's much more cheaper than living in City of Toronto, because the house rent in City of Toronto is about double. It's about double of the cost of living in GTA. So most people you speak to, they'll tell you, yeah, I live in Toronto, you know, in Canada, Ontario, GTA. They actually stay in GTA. They stay in GTA. Most people stay in GTA. So some of the cities in GTA include Mississauga, Brampton, Hamilton, North York, Richmond Hill, Scarborough, and a lot of other cities. Like we have about 10 to 12 cities that are like 30 minutes to 1 hour drive to downtown Toronto. So I'll be sharing the cost of living within these cities and how it relates to Brampton, because I stay in Brampton. So let's start with the first thing, your house rent. Of course, house rent is very important, because where would you put your head, where would you sleep, where would you stay if you don't have a house? So the cost of housing depends on the size of the house and the location of the house, and also the type of house as well. So if you're planning to stay in like an apartment or a condo or a townhouse or a shared apartment, you have an idea of how much it will cost you to get a reasonable apartment. For shared apartment, let's say you're taking a room and you're going to be sharing the washroom with other people. Okay, so in case you don't know, in Canada we call bathroom washroom. It has toilet and bath, and if they call it half, if you see on the advert, it's written as 1.5 washroom. So that means it has one toilet, that's strictly toilet, and one toilet and bath in it. So if you're going to be taking like a shared house where you take a room, that's, let's say you're taking just a single room in the entire apartment, and you're sharing the bathroom with other users, maybe 1 or 2 other people, you're most likely going to get a rent of about 600 or 500, let's say between 500 to 700 within GTA. If you're going to be going for a master bedroom like the one I stay, you have like your walk-in closet and you have your separate washroom, so you're going to be expecting to pay about 800 to 1,000 Canadian dollars depending on the location and the size of the house. If you're going to be taking like a 2-bedroom condo or a 3-bedroom condo, you should be expecting to pay between 1,500 to about 2,000, depends on the location as well. And if the utilities is included, or if it is a furnished house, it's going to be a little more expensive. Let's just say between 1,500 to 2,500 for a 2-bedroom to 3-bedroom size of a condo. So if you're taking like a basement apartment, a basement could be like just, you have just the living room and a washroom and a kitchen and let's say 1 bedroom. If you're taking a basement apartment, you're expecting to pay between 1,000 to 1,500. Some basements are like 2-bedroom apartment. Some of them is not like particularly 2 rooms, maybe just 1 room and a smaller den that could be like a play area for the kids, or you could like maybe put your kids or other stuff inside there. So that could be between 1,000 to 1,300. Sometimes it go as high as 1,500. That's it if it's a 2-bedroom basement and they have like a separate walk-in to the basement. So if you're taking like a townhouse, you'll be expecting to pay between 1,500 and 2,000 if you're expecting to take like an apartment is likely going to be between 1,000 and 2,200. It all depends on the size of the room, the size of the house rather, the number of bathrooms in it, if it is furnished, if it is if the utilities are included, and if it is close to like the main road or the major road, or maybe like stores, grocery shops and all of that. So that also influences the pricing of the house. Let's move on to phone bills. Yeah, this is my favorite. I think I should do a separate video on phone bills, because to help people that will be coming later on the site, if they want to get like a phone contract, or they just want to sign up to get like just the phone plan. So if you are getting like with the major big three networks, that's Rogers, Bell and Telus, you're going to be expecting to pay between $85 to $150, and that depends if you are getting with a new phone or not. So if you're not getting with a phone, it could be like $85 monthly, and you get like 4 gigabytes or 8 gigabytes of data. And if you are going for the like a lower network, smaller network brand, let's say the likes of Virgin Mobile, Fido, Public Mobile and the rest of them, you'll be expecting to pay between 45 to 100, depending on if you're having a phone contract with them as well. So if your house doesn't come with like the TV plan or the home internet, you have to purchase one for yourself. So some network providers have like a TV plan and home internet. So if you go for major network like Bell, you could be paying like $100 monthly or $120, depending on the size of the data plan you're buying. So most people actually go for unlimited data plan, because I mean, while most of the time we stream the TV, you stream your TV, you stream Netflix all the time, YouTube and all of that. So you want to be sure that you have unlimited internet. You don't want 200 gigabytes that you can probably just finish in a week, especially if you have like several housemates, or maybe it's like a shared house. You definitely want to get a data plan that is going to be sufficient for everybody. So most people tend to go for unlimited network, unlimited internet. So let's say if you are using the likes of Fido, you would go for like $80 monthly. But if you are using like Bell, it could be up to $120, depending on if it comes with TV and the internet. So some people could just buy like the internet plan separately, and they could buy like the TV plan separately. So if your house have the TV plan, you may not need to buy it, so you just go for the internet cable only. But if your house doesn't, you need to purchase one for yourself. Okay, so moving on to like transportation. So transportation depends on the location you commute most of the time, and if you have a car or you are using a public transport. So if you are using the public transportation, you expect to spend a little lesser than if you have a car, but it's a lot more stressful, especially if you have to go to like farther distance, or you have to walk, or if you are walking downtown Toronto. So it's a lot more challenging if you don't have a car. And I don't think you can live here in Canada without a car. Oh my god, I need to talk about this separately. This is crazy. Almost everywhere is quite a distance. You can't like vex and say you want to walk down to the bus stop. Really? Where are you walking to? It's like 10 to 20 minutes walk just to get to like the next grocery shop. It's just crazy. So you may want to ensure, or you may want to be sure to get like a car. So if you are buying your car outright purchase, it might even be easier for you. So you might just get one for like 2,000 or 2,500. That's if you're going for a used car, not a new car. So if you are going for like a mortgage plan, you may be having to pay like $200 or $250 weekly, depending on the kind of car. If you're not going for the high-end car, of course. So if you're going for like moderate cars, or cars that are like within budget, you could be paying like $200 to $250 weekly. That's for the car mortgage. And if you are buying the car outrightly, you'll be paying about $2,500 or $3,000, depending on the car brand. Also, for your car insurance, you can't have a car here without going for insurance. Your car insurance can range up to between $250 to $500 or $600, depending on the car, the kind of car it is, and the kind of license you have. So if you are a new driver, your cost of insurance is definitely going to be a lot higher than if you are like an old driver, or you've been driving for quite a while. And also the location of where you stay would also influence the price of your car insurance. So if you are staying in areas that are more risky like Brampton, you're going to be paying a lot more than if you are staying in let's say Hamilton, or you're staying in Mississauga. It's going to be, you know, just a little different, maybe like $50 difference. So if you are taking the public transportation, let's say you are going with like the Go Bus, or you are going with My Way, that's Mississauga Transit or Brampton Transit, and you get like the Presto Card. Presto Card, and you get like the Presto Card. The Presto Card costs $6, and you can load any amount on it from $10 to $1,000, I think, depending on how much you want to load on it. And if you are going with the Presto Card on each bus, it costs about $3.10 per trip. So now this thing, I just noticed this thing, if you are taking any ride within 2 hours, all the rides from the first stop to the next 2 hours, you don't get charged until the next 2 hours, until after 2 hours. I don't know if that makes sense. So you are going for from here to, let's say, Mississauga, that's Brampton to Mississauga, and you're going to take 3 buses, and let's say the entire trip is about 1 hour 30 minutes. So the first tap, second tap on the second bus, third tap on the third bus would not be charged. You would only be charged from the first tap on the first bus. That's $3.10. So despite the fact that you're taking 3 buses and you're going to tap 2 other times, you'll be charged just once. That's $3.10. How did I find out? So I checked my app to see how much I was having left, and I noticed that a lot of trips that have been going on, after the first one, they don't charge again. And I was just scared that I don't want wahala. So much come out, police should not come to my house in the next 2 years, come and tell me I'm owing them money Presto, that I'm owing them $1,000. I don't want they say, please, I'm very new. So I just noticed that, and then I asked, and I found out that so until the next 2 hours of your tap, your ride is free. That's for if you are taking the My Way Transit or Brampton Transit or whatever transportation you're taking with the Presto Card. So for children between the age of 12 and below, they ride the bus free. If you're a student, you get a discount, and if you want to subscribe for the monthly pass for either of the transit, for maybe My Way or TTC, that's Toronto Transportation City, or you want to go for Brampton Transit or York Transportation, any one of those locations, depending on them, the charge is between $135 to $150 for a monthly pass. And if you want to go for the weekly pass as well, it's between $35 to $50 per transit. So that's for transportation. Now let's go to groceries. These groceries, you can't really say how much somebody will spend on feeding, because it depends on how much they eat and if they like to eat out. So if you are the kind of person that eats out a lot, you definitely spend a lot on groceries. But if you like try to cook at home most times, or maybe just eat out occasionally or once in a while when you're with friends, you will spend a lot less. So if you are coming here, like if you're a single person, for me, I spend about $200 monthly for groceries, and let's say $50 for eating out. So that's like my budget anyway. So I try to cook at home most of the time, and occasionally when I have to buy food out, I buy. The cost of feeding in restaurants like McDonald's, Popeyes, KFC, and the rest of them is like $7 to $15, depending on the meal and the size of the meal as well. For like a family of 3 or 4, they will likely spend between $500 to $600 for monthly feeding. And that's if they are even cooking at home. If they are buying food a lot, they will spend a lot more. And if their kids are still like very young, they tend to take like maybe baby food or children food, and they're not eating much yet, it's going to be maybe as low as $400. Also, utilities. For your utilities, including electricity, gas, and water, it depends on usage as well, and it's going to be about $50 to $80 if you are a family, if you have a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment. And if you have like a 3 to 4 bedroom apartment, you'll be spending about $90 to $150. And remember, I said it's depending on usage. So if you are going out, always turn off the light. If you are having your bath, make sure you lock the water when you're done. Don't leave it open and all of that. So it also depends on usage, but it's not so expensive, I think. And some houses, the house rent comes with utilities, so regardless of how much light you use or how much water you use, your landlord pays. Another thing is gym membership. So you want to do like a fine girl. I have this app on my phone that I use to track my expenses. So let's say for like gym membership, you definitely want to keep fit and you want to subscribe to a gym, so you likely be paying between $60 to $100, depending on the number of times a week you'll be going to the gym. So gym membership is another thing. You're a fine girl, you want to do fine girl, you want to make your hair, you want to fix your nails, you want to do all of that fashion stuff, and all. It's another money. Fixing nails, I think it's about $70. making your hair, depending on the style. You don't know, most people even wear wig these days anyway. So for my own expenses, I try to like track my expense with an app on my phone. Is this clear? Okay, it's not clear. So I try to track my expenses with an app on my phone, and so far this month I've spent 1,600. So yeah, my rent has the most of the bill because my house rent is 900. It's a master bedroom. I have my own walk-in closet and a washroom. I also have like a TV and internet. So all the utilities and all of that are paid, but it's still quite expensive though, if you ask me. I hope to get something cheaper anytime soon. But yeah, also if you keep moving from house to house, it affects your credit score, so you want to be sure you're not moving and changing anyhow. So yeah, my budget for groceries is $200, and I still have some amount. Today is just 16th or 17th of October, and I've like almost crossed my budget for the month. My budget for the month is 17 anyway. So my transportation is still $100. Yeah, so you can budget like $100 for transportation and you'll be fine. For clothing, I don't even have any clothes. So because I just moved into a new house, I tend to like buy new stuff. Like I just got a winter jacket. I'll show you guys soon. So you tend to like buy new stuff for your house and all of that. So for the first few months when you move into a new apartment, you likely spend a lot more than you must have budgeted for. So you might need to factor that into your expenses as well. So what else? Please note that the cost I've mentioned in this video is peculiar to GTA, that's the Greater Toronto area in Canada, Ontario. So if you are going to be staying in city of Toronto or downtown, I don't think anybody stays in downtown. Maybe it's just like companies and organizations that are in downtown. But if you are planning to stay in city of Toronto, it's definitely going to be about double or times 3 of what you'll be spending in GTA. So you should take note of that if you are planning to stay in city of Toronto. But if you are planning to, it's a lot more expensive in this part of Canada if you ask me. And I think it's going to be a lot cheaper in other provinces like Alberta. People that stay in Alberta pay a lot less. I know someone that is a new driver. He even got his license he even bought his car with a Nigerian license, and he pays about $273 for his insurance. Somebody here, my housemate here, pays $400 for a car, and that's crazy. So, and also cost of housing in Alberta is a lot cheaper. It's like $1,200 for a 2-bedroom apartment. I mean, what am I looking for again? 1,200. Ha, let me care. So it's a lot cheaper in other areas in Canada, but this is the like where it's happening, the happening place in Canada. So it's a lot more expensive, and the population here is insane as well. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you learned a thing or two, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share with your friends and comment down below. So let me know in the comment section, do you call Toronto as Toronto or Toronto? So please, I would like to know, is it Toronto or Toronto? Please leave your comment in the comment section. I look forward to reading from you guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.